everyone, a quick summary is on the way, and today I'll talk about the 10th and 9th episodes in the season 11 of the Walking Dead series. The Reaper is a threat to Maggie and then she is hit with an archer. Maggie is able to hide in the building and is reunited with Negan and Elijah, who are wounded by shrapnel. She transports them to the hospital where they are confined to the secret room. Carver is looking for them and gets a radio command from Lee to kill anyone they find in Alexandria. Reseda and the other members battle the walkers in front of Aaron's home. Diana says Diana reports that Judith along with Gracie are not there. Judith as well as Gracie try to escape the basement that is rapidly getting filled the basement with water walkers. They break through the doorway into the basement. Iron and Jerry join with the other members after a failed attempt to extinguish a fire at the windmill. Magna and Connie go off to fill in the holes in the perimeter while the rest attempt to extinguish the flame. Aaron notices the emergency whistle of Gracie and starts looking for her. The Reaper is shooting at Gabrielle through the window. Darryl cuts the Reaper in the back with the knife before strangling him until he dies. He hides as Lee comes into the room and sees her friend's body. He snoozes out of the room. Gracie blows her whistle as the basement is filled with water. A walker is able to attack Judith as well as Gracie. Aaron smashes the window in the basement, then jumps in and begins murdering walking victims via the glass. Aaron lifts the girls up to safeness. New walkers have entered the basement. Gabriel encounters Mance and takes from his sword. Mancy says Gabriel is not going to kill Mance since he didn't take him to the graveyard. Gabriel is astonished to learn that Mancy was aware of his presence in the cemetery. Mancha is curious whether Gabriel is listening to God more often, and he encourages Gabriel to renew his faith. Gabriel detects a noise outside and then is stabbed. Manny on the stomach with an axe. Carver pursues Maggie across the hall. Megan and Elijah are able to snare him. Carver wounds. Elijah knocks Maggie to the ground. Negan is able to hit Carver with a hefty bell. Maggie is getting ready to deliver an untimely hit to Carver. Darryl insists they should use Carver to gain leverage, despite Elijah's pledge to take revenge on his sister. Darryl contacts Lee via radio and suggests talking to them. After hearing Gracie's whistle, Reseda sent Lydia to investigate. Lydia confronts the walkers around the home. Aaron is hung from plumbing in the basement so that the walkers can't see him. Lydia discovers him and rushes to the rope. She ends the rope to ensure that Aaron is able to get out of the basement on her feet. They'll be helping to put out the flames. Darryl, Maggie, Negan and Elijah meet with Lee and the rest of the Reapers. Darryl proposes to release Carver in the event that the Reapers depart from Meridian. However, he vows to murder them if they return. Lee refuses his offer and warns that the sniper is going to shoot them in the event that they refuse to allow Carver go. Darryl is reluctantly able to give up Carver. Gabriel takes out a gunman in the leg, and Gabriel tells Lee via radio that he shot her sniper. Lee accepts Darryl's offer and leaves with 2 Reapers when Elijah informs her that their victims must be punished. Maggie takes them to the ground, killing the Reapers who remain. Lee escapes. Darryl is able to track down Lee, however, she let her go. Maggie's group is loading their supplies on a wagon. Maggie goes back to church from which she left Alden. Maggie arrives at the church and is shocked to discover that Alden has changed his mind. She cries, piercing the head of Alden with the knife. Maggie buries Alden is in the forest. Negan shares her thoughts that she's always wanted to take out the Reapers, despite Darryl's efforts to negotiate, believing that she'll be the same for him. He decides to split from the group. Maggie arrives with Darryl and Gabriel around the campfire. She informs them that Alden is dead and Negan has gone. Darryl's team returns to Alexandria. Jerry is dismayed to discover that their number has dramatically reduced. Maggie's group distributes items in Alexandria and then reunites with the entire group. Darryl hugs Kanai. Lydia is obviously unhappy to hear that Negan has gone. Gabriel warns Aaron that Alden is dead and that a lot of others have perished. A group made up of Commonwealth troops is advancing towards the gate of Alexandria. Residents are making weapons to defend themselves. Eugene leaps out and informs the people of Alexandria of the fact that troops are on the rescue. Commonwealth paratroopers load supplies into Alexandria. Eugene introduces Hornby to be the winner. Hornby is proud of the work they've done and is willing to help with the necessary materials and labor to aid in their rebuilding. There is also another option for those curious. 6 months have gone by. Maggie and Elijah stand guard at the top of the hill. Hornby is awaiting at the gate, along with an army of Commonwealth soldiers. One of them approaches Maggie and asks her to come out. Maggie claims that it shouldn't happen like this. The soldier removes his helmet. It's Darryl. Yes, it's. He says that Darryl, Judith and RJ walk along a dark corridor lined with cages that are populated by walkers. They are assaulted by a walker, but they retreat when Darryl removes him. It's an actor. They're also in a maze that is haunted. They escape from the maze haunted by a ghost and celebrate Halloween at Halloween's Commonwealth Carnival. It's 39 days into their new lives within the Commonwealth. Carol as well as Magna carry food trays during the carnival. A girl known as May is introduced to Judith and invites her to guide her the area around Darryl. She informs Carol that it may take him a while to adapt to the lifestyle of the Commonwealth. Everyone cheers as the Governor Pamela Milton joins the carnival. Daryl and Carol have a chat with Kelly. Daryl and Carol chat with Kelly Connie, who is reporter on behalf of the Commonwealth newspaper. Carol observes Ezekiel from afar and observes the fact that his throat has been causing discomfort to his throat, which could indicate an increase in cancer. Gabriel takes care of the cook for the night, so Rosita can relax after a long shift. Daryl and Rosita leave their home to go to a session of training with Commonwealth soldiers, and Ezekiel plays with the kids Jerry and RJ. He also presents one of them with the old Shiva collar. Carol is interested in asking Il what he is feeling and reassures him that he's doing great. Carol goes into the hospital and browses through the medical records of IKEA. Tommy, who works as a doctor, notices she is doing so, but then decides to assist her. He observes that Ezekiel is not likely to be saved in time because of his position in the wait list. Mercer splits the recruits into groups, instructing the pair to kill walkers in their death place, working in tandem and employing knives of the same type. Rosita along with her friend Green are able to get to their home, and Darryl and his friend Jake go to a second house. Darryl confronts the walker and pushes Jake forward later. Darryl observes Jake struggling with a walker. He decides to pursue another walker. Rosita is able to pull the walker away from Green and kills the walker. In the next moment, Rosita gives the knife to Green and kills the walker using his own body. Jake shouts for help after his body is attacked by a walking walker. Mercer shoots at the walker and is furious with Darryl for letting his friend go. Mercer is praised by Rosita along with Green for their cooperation. Judith as well as May are browsing through albums in the music store in which the princess works. May purchases an album to Judith after discovering that Judith isn't allowed to buy an album. Carol hears Max refusing to drink the wine Hornsby selected for the coming party masquerade ball. Hornsby puts the wine in the garbage. Carol is looking over receipts from an old liquor store. She finds the home at the address mentioned on the receipt of the purchase of the expensive wine. She fights off walkers by looking through the cellar for wine. Mercer, Darryl, and Rosita take a trip to the forest in order for a workout with Sebastian. Mercer releases the walkers, who Sebastian must eliminate. Sebastian takes on the walker and Darryl takes him down with an axe. Sebastian is furious and tells Darryl that he can take care of Sebastian's rage and tells him he can handle. Pamela is passing by and looks at Sebastian with a sense of disappointment. Mercer suggests Darryl that sometimes it's necessary to prepare each other to be able to win in the home. Judith and Erurgi inquire Darryl if they are able to be permanently residing in the Commonwealth even if their mom isn't sure where they can find them. Carol sends Hornsby a bottle of costly alcohol to offer at the party. In return, she requests for him to alter the schedule of the surgery of a friend. She is impressed by Carol's resiliency. Hornsby states that prior to giving any assurances, he'll check out what Pamela enjoys the wine. Magna is in the kitchen during the masquerade ball and is talking with Sally, another waitress who is making an assortment of fruits. After refilling the wine glasses on the table, Magna starts serving the guests of the event. She has a brief chat between Yuka as well as Tommy as guests. Tommy says to Yuka that he's uncomfortable with the extravagant setting and then drinks a full glass of wine, and then he brings another one. The red carpet at the entryway of the ball packed with people, including the princess, as well as several Alexandrians and Hilltoppers dressed in costumes. The ball's guests arrive with guests, including Lance Hornsby and Sebastian Milton. Everyone is cheering and clapping for the arrival of Mercer. Mercer speaks to the princess who is in his crowd. He invites the princess to come along as guests. In the beginning, the doorman is hesitant to welcome the princess because her name isn't on the list. However, Mercer is firm in his decision to invite her to his home. A giddy Lance is approached by Pamela with a query about wine. The young man is obviously proud of his accomplishments and his knowledge. Pamela is able to answer perfectly and invites him to discuss the idea with Alexandria. Later, much to Lance's dismay, Connie interviews. Pamela inquires about the father of her, who was the ex-president of the US president, thought regarding the gap between classes at the event. Pamela ignores the question, and she introduces herself to Carrie, who was the winner of the lottery in the last year. The waiter tries to get in touch with Pamela, but Max takes him off. The princess is able to recognize that the man is a former soldier she beat on the railway carriage. Pamela delivers a speech and unveils a portrait of her father. A waiter, Tyler, is holding Max in a knife and is accused by Pamela for lying. He claims he has lost everything due to one error and says that those who are like him aren't important to Pamela. Max attempts to bring Tyler down. He let her go and flees. Daryl takes Tyler through a maze that is haunted and convinces him to not commit suicide. Sebastian stays with the pair inside. Darryl directs Sebastian to deliver Tyler to Pamela and he is able to assume responsibility. Sebastian takes Tyler home to the party and gets credit for having caught Tyler. Oppose the Commonwealth's recognition of workers' equality for everyone, Tyler shouts while he's taken out of the room. and adding that there are thousands of people like his. Pamela asks Hobie to determine whether there are more Resistance members. Yuka and Max give out cash as well as a non-disclosure contract to guests at the party to protect their privacy. Carol is interested in asking Hornsby what he thought of the wine. Paula enjoyed the wine. Hornsby declares that it was a good start step and suggests that he'd like to receive something more from Carol. Mercer demands Reseda to question Magna concerning Tyler. Rasta asks Magni questions regarding Tyler. Magna admits she doesn't know Tyler, but she believes in his statements regarding the Commonwealth, and Ezekiel arrives at Carol and presents her with the box which used to be the property of Henry. Carol wants to know Isle to check on him again and asks how he's feeling. She is crying when she assures her Isle is doing fine. Daryl will be working. He will give Judith an audio player to play her new track. Darryl, Reseda, and the team of Commonwealth soldiers storm Tyler Davis's home in search of rebels. Reseda discovers a secret room behind the closet stuffed with propaganda for the Resistance.